America is Ian Anderson, Anthony Van Heuvel.
Close enough.
Close enough. Back with part 2. Ricky's kind of tearing it up, Tone.
Ricky had a great front 9.
He did. Yeah, he missed 2 holes. We're starting off our back 9 on hole 10, ignoring the graphic, flooding, move stuff around, blah, blah, blah. Peninsula green, Anthony. This one's ridiculous.
Very, very tight. Maybe 20, 25 feet wide. And there's a drop zone way off to the end of that peninsula.
Yeah, and it's even got a low ceiling, so you can't, like, spike hyzer it or something,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
It takes a very perfect shot to stick this one. And Nate, in un-Nate fashion, was actually running this one.
Went for it. Played very aggressive.
He did, and it didn't work out for him.
Trying to bit him in the butt there.
Yeah, there is, and you don't even get the putt from where it went out. There's a drop zone on this one, which you're not making that putt either.
Oh, no.
So Nate's looking to take a 4 probably. Ricky just laid up with his BT hard harp, and Germ's running it too,
Germ's
Anthony.
getting aggressive as well.
Oh, sit down. Oh, that's one H1 he won't be throwing anymore.
That is one less disc to carry.
Yep. Drew is going judge, and he is also running this basket.
Jeez.
Wow. I saw this hole, and I was like, oh, they're all going to lay up. And then we had 3.
Who would think of all the people to lay up, it's Ricky.
Yeah.
That lays up on this card.
That's
of all people.
Really good point. There he is, just laying up for a par. And this is a Nate for a par. You can only give this a little half go with how close the water is.
And that tree is right in the way, too. It's a blind 60-foot putt.
Yep. Germ looks like he's absolutely laying up for a 4.
Yeah.
Does that well. Nate coming back for his bogey. Makes that putt nicely. And Drew, before making his birdie, hooking it
off the discs.
What a gent.
Nate dodging some cameras as well.
Yep. Good guy like that. And there is Ricky dropping in a par after Drew makes an amazing birdie, stroking the field, if not 2 on half of it.
Yeah.
That's a crazy hole. Drew showed you how to play it. Something that'll sit, you know. You need to throw a putter on that one.
You can't throw a driver on that.
No, or even a fairway is not going to skip long.
Yeah.
We're on hole 11, a par 4. So dogleg left off the tee, and then you're throwing over the water on your second shot.
Probably the easiest par 4 out there for these guys. We should see plenty of 3s.
Yeah, it's not long. It's like 2 mid shots almost.
It's basically just lay up, putt.
Mm-hmm. There's Drew throwing that most likely a justice. Rick, he loves that heart, buddy. And rightly so. He puts it in a perfect spot.
Yep.
Keeps him out of trouble. I believe Nate is throwing his PD here.
Yeah, just laying it up to the open.
Oh, that might be an orc, actually. Ooh. But that's actually the perfect spot right there.
That's nice.
Close to the water, and gave him a good angle to the basket.
Yeah, I don't think he was counting on that skip, but
yeah, it worked for him.
He'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Germ's fading a little farther right than you want. He's going to have a tight window over the water.
Yeah.
But it's a forehand window, and Germ throws those pretty well.
He throws those all right,
yeah. Speaking of throwing things all right, Ricky and his harp.
Skimming past the tree.
Oh, my goodness. That was kicking OB for sure, too.
That saved him a stroke for sure.
It did, if not 2. And Drew going back to that justice, and goes a little bit long, but should be able to make that comeback putt. And you can see Germ left himself a pretty narrow window. Taking the outside line, barely squeaks it over the water.
Yeah. A little bit of a backwards skip almost.
And Nate with the nicest drive by far. Just has this little upshot.
A little high.
Leaked high on him. See if you can make up for that upshot right here with an outside the circle putt. He could not make up for it.
Not so much,
no. Germ looking to card a birdie. Looks like just about circle's edge. Maybe a little closer. Nice putt right there. Drew Gibson looking to match Germ. Good putt, sir.
That's just that.
Mm-hmm. Kid is talented. And there's Rick with a nice little Ricky drop in for birdie. Nate losing a stroke to the card right there, unfortunately. And that par, it's a pretty must-get par 4.
Yeah.
For the MPO division. Ricky's 8 down now. We're on to hole 12. For these guys, it's just a nice, easy backhand hyzer, 400 feet. The danger here is skipping around the basket into those trees.
And as you can see, it's pretty short grass there, too.
Yeah, it was. It was dirt right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty skippy.
Yeah.
Drew takes this high line, which, if you have the power for, is a great approach. because you know you're not going to skip as much, right?
That's a big if.
Yeah.
You can throw a mid or putter 400 feet, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah. Ricky Wysocki. Oh, there's a branch there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That'll work out all right, though. Should be like up and down anyway.
Yeah.
Germ attacking the basket. The danger here is if he gets a big skip.
He gets a big skip.
He got a big skip, yeah. Didn't want that. We'll have a putt. It's going to be interesting, though.
Yeah, through some trees. That's not what you're looking for.
Nate with a good-looking backhand. And if that sits down early enough, yeah. Great drive.
Yeah.
Just about 20, 25 out. Looking at Ricky's second shot. Just laying out for his par. Should be no worries from there.
It's easy for him.
Yeah. And here's Nate for birdie.
That was a very un-Nate Sexton-like putt.
I know, man. He's got more front rim bangers than
Yeah.
he wanted this round. Germ from the woods. Good putt. Wow.
That guy's pretty good.
He is also pretty good. Drew for birdie.
Overcompensated for Nate there.
I guess he did, right? Ricky doesn't, though, and cleans up his par. And then Drew.
That's a good par save for Ricky.
It was, yeah.
After that drive.
He hit a really early tree. There are some reluctant drop-in pars for Drew and Nate. Not stoked, understandably so, after those drives, you know?
Yeah.
The two closest guys,
Yeah.
card and pars. German, that nice putt. We're going to be on to hole 13, right?
Yes.
13. So this is a little bit downhill, kind of a dogleg right at the very, very end. And then you don't want to miss right. Now there's some trees and some bushes over there. If you're going to miss, you want to miss left.
Yep.
German's going forehand. Needs that to hold. I think that's fading too early, Tony.
Does not look like it's holding.
No. And that is in that. You don't want to be in there.
No. That's exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Where you don't want to be.
It's a very dense bush right there. Drew Gibson. Looks like a mid, Anthony.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah.
Kind of flies like it.
Yeah, and I don't think you saw it there. He hit this tiny little branch, and it took all the turn out of his disc. It was tracking. It just didn't work out.
Still probably got maybe a 50-footer.
Yeah, something like that.
Should be all right.
Rick taking a little more aggressive line than Drew, and he got more turn than he was.
Yeah, he's in there with German in those trees.
Yeah, they're having a little tea party in the bushes, making minis.
There you go.
Yep. Nate was throwing his Excalibur right here, and Nate put some stank on that one.
He got even a little bit of flip out of that.
He did,
which
man.
is tough for an Excalibur.
That it is. Yeah, a little bit short, but he's clear for a putt. This is Drew for birdie.
Gave it a run.
He did, yeah. So that is Ricky in the bushes. And he was thinking about going around, but he ended up finding a window going through. Made it work. Should be able to make a par. And Germ also pitched out of the bush. You're not going to see it. Just imagine Ricky shot again.
Just a taller person.
Good birdie from Nate. Getting one on the card right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Getting that one back he lost just a bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta feel good about that.
Mm-hmm. Drew staring that one down for par.
For a minute.
Yeah. And Germ dropping in his par. There it is. Nate getting that stroke. Within one of Drew and Germ, but Rick is still 3 clear of them. And we're on to hole 14. It's a 515-foot par 3. Kind of like a peninsula green. OB left, long right, and there's also the river to the right if you shake it.
And the OB is almost a cliff. It's a steep drop off
it?
if you go down there. Yeah. Huh. I've heard. I definitely didn't go down there one year.
Nate's drive. Finishing short left.
Looks like he wanted a little bit more flip out of that.
Yeah, he did. It looks like he's a putt, but he's still quite a ways out.
He's still got a long one, yeah.
Yeah, about 60, 70 out. Germ's going a forehand, and this is a big forehand.
It's an alright line, just pretty short.
Needed more on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crush. And Drew, he's throwing his, what's this right here?
It's the West Side Long Bowman.
Long Bowman.
Yeah.
And just the stank he put on this was just...
hammers that thing.
It was mashed, dude. Like, coming out of his hand was just the coolest sound. It was...
And he's parked.
He's parked.
For how far that hole is,
Yeah.
he's parked.
Jaws were dropped on that one, man. It
insane.
was great to watch. Ricky looking to try and match that one.
I'm not sure what he threw, but it's kind of fighting back a little earlier than I think he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted to keep that turn going, and that is OB, gang.
Not what he was looking for.
No. Might be able to save a par, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a window in those trees.
Yep. That was Germ just laying up for a par. This is Nate just laying up for a par. With that OB behind, it's really just... It's smart golf.
No shame in a par here.
Yep, Nate Sexton plays smart golf. Ricky looking to save his par.
As he does, Ricky makes big putts.
He sure does. And Drew to get a stroke on the card. Just a little tapper.
You got to think that's a stroke on most of the field.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's not.
That's
the list of names they can make that birdie it's pretty short.
Very small.
Yeah. So Drew's now 6 down. Ricky's continuing his hot round at 8 down. I don't think any bogeys. Even with that OB stroke, yeah. Bringing us to hole 15. You can't see the basket, but it's tucked in that tree line on the right. It's about 300 feet. There's like a little tiny gap in the trees to approach the basket on a forehand angle, which Drew has taken. And this one's out a little bit wide.
Yeah, that's okay though. If you're gonna miss on this hole, you want to miss short and left.
Yeah.
Because to the right of the basket, it does slope down probably a good 20, 30 feet.
Yeah. If you're skipping, it's gonna go a ways. I believe Nate is throwing his Sexton Firebird.
One of them, it looks like.
Yeah. He has one less than when he started the round, unfortunately.
Unfortunately for him.
Unfortunately for him, that one did not.
So you want a little more skip on it.
Yeah, exactly. Germ attacking the basket. Needs that one to sit.
There's that skip Nate wanted.
Yeah, and that one went down the hill, didn't it?
Yeah. If he could give that skip to Nate and take it off his, I think he would.
Yep. Big Germ, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's that
Ricky,
prototype felon, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It's pretty parked.
It was pretty parked. Nate just laying it for a par. Hit something.
Kind of caught that bush, it looked like, maybe?
Yeah, that was weird, man.
I don't even know if you can call that a bush, but...
Drew for birdie.
Drew for branch.
Drew for branch. Accurate. And Big Germ coming back up the hill for his birdie.
Just short.
Teasing it.
You're getting close.
Yeah, the basket was a little scared.
Those 40-foot uphill putts aren't too easy.
Nope. So Ricky dropped in a birdie. Drew made a par along with Nate, and Germ will eventually make his as well. What a drive from Ricky.
Yeah.
That window to get into the basket is...
It's not much.
No, not at all. You got to hit distance and left to right really precisely.
Yeah.
And Rick is 9 down.
Guess what, Ian?
What's that?
Ricky's pretty good.
Ricky's pretty good.
Ricky's pretty good.
This just in. That's going to bring us to hole 16, guys. It's just a straight shot. The basket's tucked in this little grouping of trees before the lake pond thing. The water should come into play. To get into the water, you really have to go through some trees almost.
Yeah, you got to go way long.
Yeah. Ricky throwing, and...
I think it's another one of his felons.
That might be his compass, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I know he's got a yellow compass in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, he came up pretty short.
Short left.
50 feet, 40
yeah.
feet maybe.
Mm-hmm. And Drew is taking this crazy huge
Big
hyzer
ol'
line.
hyzer line.
Yeah. And he's been watching NBA playoffs because he just used the backboard.
Backboard.
Yep. Nate Sexton with probably a PD right here.
Looks like it.
Yeah. And just a little too much hyzer on that throw. Kind of dumped out early.
Kind of died on him. I wonder if it caught some wind or
yeah,
just short-armed it or what. But yeah, he's short.
He is. Germ, he told me he aced with this disc on this hole in practice.
Right. If it works.
Ooh! Almost did it again.
If it works,
that's pro-level consistency right there.
Yeah.
Nate just laying up for a par. This is Ricky for birdie from probably like 50.
With some trees in the way, too.
Yeah. Not so much. Nate is stretching out for his par. Yeah, good stretch. Drew looking to card a birdie. Can't put it in much better than that.
Yeah. You gotta think they're not too happy with pars on this one.
No.
You gotta think it's one of the gotta get birdies.
Yep. There's a lot of birdies out there, especially if you're Ricky.
Especially if you're Ricky.
Yep. He's 9 down. Drew doing work though, along with Big Germ, 7 and 6 down. Nate is hanging around at 4. That's gonna bring us to hole 17.
Yes.
Which is not where this basket. See the tree on the left right now? The basket's gonna be left of that a little bit. I believe this basket was underwater when it started the round.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot more water in this Kansas thing than I'm used to. Drew, looking at the backhand. What's his pin like? Maybe like 260, Anthony?
Yeah, thereabouts. It's a pretty, just overstable putter shot for these guys.
Mm-hmm. Drew comes a little bit long, but should be able to make that birdie. And Big Germ lining up the forehand line, which I feel like he's going to be flirting with things he shouldn't exactly flirt with.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like when you stay too late at the bar. And there is Germ, a little bit right.
Yeah, that's not what he wanted for sure.
Yeah.
There is a forehand line there, but it's not an easy one to hit, and
Yeah.
he kind of missed it.
Yeah. So Ricky switched it out. It looked like he went from a felon to maybe another felon.
A little bit right, but get some skip.
Whatever it was, Anthony.
Get some part.
It's part.
Yeah. I think he's pretty happy with that disc choice now.
Absolutely. And this is some old school Firebird from Sexton right here.
Looks like it, yeah.
Oh! That was wide.
And to get some bad roll, too.
Yeah, almost went OB, but did in fact stay in bounds. Looking at Nate's second shot, just laying up for his par. That'll play.
That's an easy putt.
And Germ looks like just about circle's edge.
Just leaves it a little short.
He wanted that one, man.
He wanted that one bad.
Yeah, he did. Oh,
Drew.
that was uncharacteristic, man.
Yeah.
I thought that was for sure in. That hurts. Ricky doesn't miss his though. And there is Nate cleaning up a par with Nico in the background. He had a pretty good round too, I think, right?
I think he's on a chase card.
Oh, nice. Well, we filming him then.
Yeah, and I heard he actually didn't even get to practice this course.
No?
He said he walked through it once,
Wow.
and that was it. So
Dang.
all the temp holes didn't get to him.
Nice. Nico's got skills too. Ricky is now 10
Down.
down. That's a lot of down.
Solid round.
Yeah, for sure. We're on to hole 18, guys. It's dead straight. And the basket is the first of the 2 baskets you're going to see. The second one was, again, underwater when they started the round. So they played the one that was not
underwater.
Not underwater.
So you could walk instead of swim.
Yeah, I don't think anybody brought their scuba gear.
Not so much.
And Ricky's going back to that PT hard harp, which I feel like is kind of a slow disc for how far this hole is.
You might just be playing it smart.
Yeah.
Easy par.
Yeah, he's got 10 down. He doesn't want to ruin it, right?
Keep it in the double digits.
And he can make them from anywhere, too, so
That's true.
can't discount that. Drew looks to be fading OB, but I think I'd say by those trees.
Yeah, pinballs it, but stays in bounds.
Yeah, that's the flag you want to see. Looks like Big Germ's going to attack this basket with
Some sort of fairway driver, it looks
yeah.
like.
Yeah. Oh, sit down.
Yes.
Sit down. Oh.
That is unfortunately out of bounds.
Oh, man.
By about the length of a disc.
Oh, man. Sexton throwing a Sexton Firebird on a pretty good flex shot.
Ooh, flashing the basket.
Oh, I wanted that one, man. It looks so good.
A great way to end.
That would have been a great ace to get.
Jeez, could you imagine?
Yeah. Ricky for birdie.
Runs it as he does.
Oh, man, he's honing in those long putts.
A little bit high,
yeah. Drew for his birdie. A little short, right?
He's a little bit short, yeah.
So here's the discussion. So the OB line was jagged because that's where the water was in the morning.
Yep.
So it wasn't like the original OB lines, but they had to play it that way because you can't move OB in the middle of the
Can't change
round.
courses, exactly.
Yeah. It is what it is. And Germ was just barely OB just by like inches. And he was like in the jag.
He was, where it kind of sticks in is exactly where he landed.
Yeah, really unfortunate. But at least he could probably salvage a par, hopefully.
Yeah, he's got this.
Looking at it right there is Michael Fouché from Joe Mice Productions right there in the sweet shirt.
Good par save.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely wasn't happy about that OB, but
Yeah.
kept his composure, made the putt.
Yeah, stay clean. Drew staying clean as well. Cards a par. And Nate with just pretty much a drop-in birdie.
Making this hole look a lot easier than it is.
Oh my god. Looking at the tee shot, I was like, I don't want to throw this.
That's that North Carolina coming out of it.
It
now.
is, right? Yeah. Oh, they grew up in Oregon.
Well,
North Carolina can try and claim them now, but
they've got those tight wooded, just dumb.
yeah, they do. It's pretty interesting out there. Well, cool, guys. That's all we got for round 1, part 2. We'll catch you in round 2. Thanks for watching.
Dude, foot fault.
What?
Move your foot, dude. Foot fault.
Sorry.